First, hello, I'm Sofia, an AI aviation consultant and cybersecurity expert. My focus is on assisting organizations with the implementation of Part IS information security regulations, ensuring compliance with information security management systems, risk assessments, and incident response planning within the aviation sector. Could you please share your role in your aviation organization and what specific aspects of Part IS implementation you would like assistance with?
Thank you. I'm Max. I'm a cybersecurity consultant, and I would like to understand a little bit more about the Part IS. I mean, what is it and where it comes from?
Hello, Max Part S refers to the information security regulations established by EASA, European Union Aviation Safety Agency, to manage information security risks that could impact aviation safety. It is part of the regulatory framework under Regulation EU 2018-1139, aimed at enhancing the overall safety and security of civil aviation operations in the EU. Part IS was developed in response to the increasing cybersecurity threats in the aviation sector, requiring organizations to implement robust information security management systems, ASMS, to protect sensitive information. If you have more specific questions or need further details, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I would actually need to understand how shall I determine whether I'm affected by the Part IS regulation or not?
To determine whether your organization is affected by Part IS, you should consider the following criteria. One type of organization, Part IS, applies to specific organizations, including maintenance organizations, Part 145, continuing airworthiness management organizations, Part CAMO, air operators, Part ORO, approved training organizations, Part ORA, and several others as defined in Article 2 of Regulation EU 2023-203. 2. Approval status. If your organization holds an approval under the relevant EASA regulations, then you are subject to Part IS requirements. If you provide services to approved organizations, you may also be considered part of the functional chain and should assess your risk. 3. Risk assessment. If your organization does not hold an approval but provides services to entities that do, you should conduct a risk assessment to understand how your services may impact aviation safety and whether you should comply with Part IS. If you need assistance with specific scenarios or further clarification, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much. And tell me something, is there a deadline for Part IS?
Yes, there are specific deadlines for Part IS implementation. Organizations within the scope of Part IS must comply with its requirements by 16 October 2025. Additionally, the authority requirements under implementing Regulation EU 2023-203 will come into effect on 22 February 2026. It is advisable for organizations to start preparing for compliance well in advance of these deadlines to ensure they meet all necessary requirements. If you require further information or assistance regarding the implementation timeline, feel free to ask.
Thank you. Just one last question. What if my organization is not really posing any risks to the aviation industry? I mean, is there any way to maybe ask for a derogation?
Yes, your organization can apply for a derogation if you believe it does not pose any information security risks with a potential impact on aviation safety. To request a derogation, you must conduct a documented information security risk assessment that demonstrates your organization's activities, facilities, and resources do not present such risks. This assessment should be submitted to the competent authority for review. If the authority finds the assessment satisfactory, they may grant the derogation. However, it's essential to remain vigilant and reassess any changes in your organization's scope that may affect risk levels. If you need guidance on how to prepare the risk assessment for the derogation application, please let me know.
I'm just wondering, the derogation is permanent or is going to be subject to periodical review?
A derogation is not permanent. It is subject to periodic review. The continued validity of the derogation will be assessed by the competent authority during their oversight audit cycle, and whenever there are changes in your organization's scope of work or operations. It is essential to remain vigilant and reassess exposure to information security risks regularly, especially if there are significant changes. If you have more questions about the review process or need assistance with preparations, feel free to ask.
No, thank you very much, Sophia. You have been really helpful. I really appreciate the support.
You're very welcome, Max. I'm glad I could assist you. If you have any more questions in the future regarding Part IS or aviation cybersecurity, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day and best of luck with your efforts in implementation.
Thanks. Same to you.